Want to get your hands on some sports cards?
Hell yes!
You're in the right place.
Good morning.
Is everybody ready?
Welcome to the weekly Target Watch on Schultz's Card Pulls.
What's going on, sports fans? Happy Wednesday, hump day, 3:56 Pacific time. Just about entering the hot zone here on Schultz's Card Pulls. How is everybody doing this morning? What is going on, everybody out there? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Early on. I know everybody, hopefully as good as you can be, hoping for a sports card restock on Target.com. And I really appreciate a lot of people spitting knowledge in the chat this morning, talking about, whether or not there's going to be a drop this week. And everybody kind of assuming, or not everybody, I should say, that there's a section of people assuming. And it's totally okay. I understand why people do this. I'm not ripping. It's just kind of nice to see the knowledge being dropped in the chat when people are saying, hey, it's been every other week. It's probably going to be every other week. But then a couple of people saying, hey, you know what? Just when you think, I love this comment by Aaron, just when you think there's not going to be a drop, there's a huge one, and you don't wake up, and you're going to be pissed. So it's just like we never know exactly what's going on. That's why I'm here every single week. People accuse me of doing it just to get views, which that's like accusing a car of needing gas to run, which I think is a ridiculous misnomer. So when you hear that, just think about that comparison. But we are here every single week because Target has switched it up repeatedly over and over and over again on us throughout the year. At this point last year, it was Fridays, regular Friday restocks on Target.com, or soon after this point of the year last year. And then at a point after that, they switched it up and started doing random days every single week. And then they kind of stopped doing every week and went to every other week. So how's everybody doing? Let me know. Good morning, Schultze, says the collector. What's up, yo, Schultze, says Sal. David says, I didn't even know Best Buy dropped cards. Yes, they do. They do drop cards now, albeit very hard to get your hands on because the monitors are super wacky. Usually when you're looking online, specifically cards regarding Best Buy, the best way to get them is if you have retail monitors, because if they pop up on Best Buy, they're going to be out of stock almost immediately. Mr. Card says there were only a few hundred select megas last week. Why are they up there? LOL. That's the thing, something that Target has also been doing differently, changing it up. Usually when they drop an item and then it goes out of stock, we will see them remove it from the website. However, that has not been the case with a lot of different items the past, I want to say month plus now. It hasn't just been like a couple of weeks with a couple of items. I mean, they still got all that optic up. For instance, those optic full sets, all kinds of stuff up there. Jose says, we are in the hot zone. Just about, guys. We are maybe 30 seconds away from the hot zone here on Schultz's Card Pulls. DJ Debo says that's what happens with the optic cello boxes, talking about them just being left up there. Starling says, I scooped up many Mosaic Basketball packs, and guys, it looks like Mosaic Basketball still, as of this morning, right now as I go live, they are in stock with Mosaic Basketball. So definitely something to keep your eye on. The debate rages over whether the sports card hobby is dead. Is the sports card hobby dead? People talking about all the prices kind of dropping down, the resale prices of packs as well as singles. But I don't think it's dead. I think that immediate flipping money got out, but I don't think it's dead at all. Sal says, even when Schulte took a day off that Tuesday after Christmas, they had a drop, but it's okay. No, I appreciate it, Sal. Yeah, they did. They've been going every single single other week for the past couple of months now. The HRE XKR says, hello, Schulte. What's going on? Tommy Two Dimes says, morning, dude. So we've definitely been seeing them switching stuff up, and that's why we're here every single week, because once again, we are trying to just keep track of what the hell Target is doing. And my whole philosophy is to get everybody's sports cards at retail price. I know those hobby boxes are expensive, so if you want to get your hands on some stuff to rip, retail is going to be the best option for you, and that is going to be the cheapest way for you to get into the hobby. And I appreciate that. Somebody said they're here for the conversation. Randall says, I come here for the conversation. Dude, I appreciate that. Means a lot, Randall. Means I'm doing something right, I guess, along with talking about the hobby and everything in general in sports. Obviously, all kind of related to each other, but there's a lot to speak of every single morning that we get on, not just about sports cards being dropped on Target.com. And Tommy Two Dimes, thank you so much. Just saw you joined as a Chrome member. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. You are such a kind person. Tommy Two Dimes joining as a Chrome member. I appreciate you, buddy. Bruce Beast is unbelievable. Those Mosaic cellos are still available. It is so true, man. Those Mosaic Basketball cello packs. Once again, we can go over why I think they're still available. It is mainly because they usually sold those cellos in boxes, which contain 12 packs each, and they probably got, like, for instance, last time they dropped a bunch of optic cello boxes, it was, right around the number of 20,000 or so. So just take 20,000 cello boxes, you guys, and imagine Target ripping open all those boxes, or Excel, or whoever's shipping those, and you've now got 20,000 boxes times 12 packs. And if you do the math correctly, that is 240,000 boxes, or excuse me, 240,000 packs of optic cellos. Just as a guess, I'm not saying that that's exactly the number that Target had, but when you're limiting it to 3, and when you're making it tougher for people to get it, and there is a 24-hour limit, that you can get 3. At first, it was 72 hours. It makes things staying in stock a lot longer. Tommy, I appreciate you, man. Steve Piero says, smash that like, folks. Yeah, Dan D says, smash that like, folks. Appreciate it. Helps me feed 2 kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. And lets YouTube know that y'all are enjoying what you're watching out there. I appreciate y'all. Somebody talking about Bol to the Celtics. Was that like an actual trade, or is that just speculation? Because I was looking at the news on ESPN this morning, although I'm not sure that's something that would make the front page. And speaking of sports news, you guys, as we continue to wait through the hot zone here on Schultz's Card Pulls, 4:03 Pacific Time, 7:03 East Coast Time, here on a Wednesday. We got to talk about the continued fallout with BBCE and how that affects the sports card hobby. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Logan Paul $3.5 million fake case of first edition Pokemon cards was authenticated by the owner of BBCE as well as others within the company, and open on camera, and everybody got to see the reactions of every single person that got duped. But it's frustrating when the experts get duped. When you're like a buyer, it makes sense. But when you're looking to the experts for confirmation and then they don't give it to you and they end up screwing you over, it really helps, or it really hurts. And it doesn't help your case, sorry, is what I'm saying, as a professional in the field that really, you're only good for one thing, authenticating it. And it's pretty crazy that this happened on camera in 2022. I think that's the only way that we'd be able to see it unfolding the way that we do now with YouTube, with people having a big following. Just a situation that is terrible for everybody. And I saw a tweet from Darren Ravel talking about the fallout from the Logan Paul Pokemon case fraud. Lots of other items, guys. Speaking of the authentication, it's why I'm talking about BBCE and their reputation so much, because their authentication obviously has been really started with sports card products. I mean, BBCE is a baseball card exchange. That's what it's short for, if you did not know. So I guess that does warrant some part of the conversation. So anyways, they have a ton of other products that have stretched into the hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars for sales that are sealed cases that now kind of come under scrutiny, don't you think? I mean, for instance, Darren Ravel talking about this Logan Paul Pokemon case fraud, bringing up the 1986 Fleer basketball case. This was authenticated and sold for $1.78 million, authenticated by BBCE. The 86 Fleer case, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the 86 Fleer set has the infamous Michael Jordan rookie card in it. So what do you guys think? Does that have to be opened? I think it does. I think you have to open every single case worth over like $100,000 or $200,000 that BBCE has authenticated, just to make sure that they actually know what they're talking about. Brian Peake says, why are sealed cases even authenticated? A cardboard box with labels and stop tape is easier to fake than actual boxes. And that's true, but authenticating those kinds of products, the point in doing that, essentially, if you're a guy that sees those coming out of the factory, or, for instance, a first edition case of Pokemon cards, which was coming off the printers back in like the late 90s, and you were around at the time, those are the people that you're going to go to with knowledge. And what it sounds like to me, like with this tape, not being tampered with or anything, because I don't know if like they loaded these boxes from the bottom of the box from the other side, if that's how they were able to fool all these authenticators. They took basically an untouched case from, how many years ago, just very, very carefully slit open the bottom, where hopefully people wouldn't notice. I love it. Patrick Navarez says, you have one job, or Narvaez says, you have one job, and you can't even authenticate it. It's sad. And this was the owner of BBCE, so it's not like their company, he's going to get fired, or they're going to be people that are going to be losing their jobs, because it's literally the owner that made his own company look like crap. That's like if I did something to make myself look stupid. At that point, you should fire yourself. It's kind of sad. You really should. But yeah, I'm just wondering if the way that they did it, was something that people weren't really looking at. But yeah, the knowledge of how those cases look coming off the factory really does hold some merit in the hobby. So that's kind of the reason that people authenticate cases, because one, I know that this is a little bit more common nowadays than maybe back in the late 90s, early 2000s, but there are a lot of case hits now. So when you're talking about hobby boxes, specifically in the world of sports cards, you say like 10 or 12 are in each case. They're usually in those cases for most releases is contained like one chance at a big hit. And that's how some people gamble in the hobby. Like you guys, some of you just buy like a couple of packs to rip open to try and see if you can pull a big card. Some people, have the budget to buy a couple of boxes to see if you can rip open to find those big cards. Some people buy the cases and they try to rip those open to see if they can find the big cards. When does NBA Hoops releases Duke #1 GOAT? I believe in like a week or two. Didn't Hoops actually already come out hobby-wise for this year, for 2022, 2023, and we're just kind of waiting on the retail, if I'm mistaken. Am I incorrect in saying that? This will be the end of BBCE, says Patrick Narvaez. Calibred Breaks says, definitely got to question how any sealed Pokemon packs from PSA now. It's true. I'm sure PSA is a little bit more legit than BBCE, but anything sealed, anything, guys, that you've gotten, like, say, from eBay or a seller like that, that now is something that you've got to be wary of. And with money, in these kinds of hobbies and millions of dollars being exchanged, you're always going to see fraud. You're always going to see an attempt at really crappy behavior, and it sucks. And there's not really much that you can do other than just try to avoid it and prosecute the people that attempt to do it. And hopefully, I don't know what eBay's policies are, but they can track down the original seller of this case, because the suspect stories and the two different stories that came from the seller about where this case of Pokemon cards came from. I mean, if you guys, I've dove pretty deep into the background on this whole BBCE fake authentication of Pokemon cards for Logan Paul. Out $3.5 million. However, he did get a refund, it sounds like. But the seller originally on eBay, guys, this was originally found as a case of first edition Pokemon cards on eBay, up for, like, I think it was sold for $90,000 or $100,000 Canadian. And two different stories came from the seller about where he got it. One was that he was out basically estate sailing with his older sister, bored, found a bunch of Pokemon cards, including this sealed case one day. And then the other story was that he was holding on to the case that he got as a present for his 12th birthday, which it's weird that the story changes two different times. And when that's happening, obviously it's pretty sketchy. And I don't understand how you can actually put thousands upon tens of thousands of dollars into an item. I mean, there's the emotional bias there, so you want it to be real. You're hoping. I think we all saw that reaction out of Logan Paul in the video itself when they were opening those boxes. Really, really trying, to not just make your money, but have fun opening a box of nostalgia, essentially. So you want it to be real. And I think that might be something that people are buying with, that emotion, as opposed to brains when it comes to Pokemon cards like that. But also, this was supposedly the last first edition case of Pokemon cards out there, at least known. I think I'm correct in stating that. John Reyes says, no 12-year-old not ripping that case, LOL. That's funny. Auto God says the seller was definitely super sketch about how he got the box. It seemed weird he would sell the whole case for less than what the boxes would go for if they were going to sell them single. And yeah, that's the thing, guys. With a Canadian seller, you're also, I think it was, somebody mentioned Rudy. There was a couple of channels that have been talking about this that have broken it down really well, and I'm taking this take from them. I guess it's not really something that I'm stealing because it's just kind of obvious, but there's a huge risk, but they pointed it out, so credit to them for pointing it out first. There's a huge risk from buying something as an American from Canada like that because of customs. They could just rip open your sealed Pokemon case and then totally ruin the value, to check it and make sure that you're not trafficking anything. So there's an added risk there. So the entire situation just seems ridiculous and seems sketchy. First edition G.I. Joe, says Brandon. Come on, guys. It was first edition. Just first edition G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Da-da-da-da-da. Brian Lawhorn says, I know the UPS driver who goes to Barnes & Noble, and he informs me now when Excel boxes are on his truck. Brian, that is awesome. Sounds like you've made friends with the right dude, and you're going to be getting a lot of sports cards here for a long time. Maybe make sure you find out what his birthday is, find out if anything's going on in his life, and add like a gift card or some extra cash to a card as a nice thank you for him, and that will continue. That is awesome, Brian. Justin Roper says, what's up, Schultze? How you doing, man? Justin Roper, sharing the name of a former Oregon quarterback. I love it. Justin Roper. Gosh, bringing back some memories, you guys. Ricky's Harley Davidson Life asking, you guys talking trash on Mosaic? Have you seen Illusions or Flux? I like Mosaic. I know that some people think that Mosaic has been overprinted this year, which I'm not saying that I don't disagree with. I think that that's probably the case. However, Mosaic has been one of my favorite sets. I know that I just got back into the hobby, full on, dove back in 2 years ago almost, but essentially Mosaic, Prism, Select, all those premium sets that you see, I don't know. You usually end up picking one that you go for because you really only have the budget to do just like a set or two out of the 40 plus releases that Panini is having per sport each year. But Mosaic for me happens to be one of my favorites. Auto Gods, thank you so much. There's nothing yet on the back end talking about sports cards possibly popping up on Target.com, guys. We have not seen anything on any monitors anywhere yet. We have not seen the item number change here on the Target tracker. That's usually what we're looking for. When sports cards are going to restock and when they are appearing out of stock on the back end, you see that number 63 there under the Target tracker, usually changing and going up. And right now, we're sitting at 63 items. Nothing newer, but hey, if y'all still want any Mosaic, then you can grab it right now. 3 packs, looks like every 24 hours. Joe asking why the best search link below does not contain soccer. I'm assuming that's because Run Good Life, when he put it together, didn't check soccer cards as an option. However, we do have the 2 links to the only soccer products that are available on Target.com right now, or that have been available in the past month, which is the Chrome UFA and the Don Russ Soccer for 2021-2022. So make sure you grab at that. And if you did want soccer, use those links. Check them out. The Yummy Us says the Genesis aren't overprinted, so I'm buying. That's the thing, you guys. I know that it seems like it's overprinted, but Mosaic with those case hits that we were just talking about a few minutes ago, those Genesis for Mosaic's sake, super, super valuable. And gotta love it when you find one of those. Man, you should go back. It was funny talking about just getting back into the hobby last year when I had just gotten back in. I'd actually pulled a Genesis case hit from, I think it was a Mosaic Cello Pack. However, it sucked. It was of a no-name linebacker that nobody really cared about. So just because you're pulling those case hits, man, it can be super frustrating. You could pull a case hit. Everybody, of course, looking for that LaMelo Ball and Genesis hit, or even like a James Wiseman or Tyrese Maxey Genesis, one of those guys. But then you'll end up pulling like a Chris Paul Genesis or something that nobody's really searching after. Scott O asking what filters I use for the sports card search on Target.com. Basically, I've narrowed it down to like NFL, MLB, NBA, and cards sold only by Target, not that third-party service Toy Wiz or whoever is selling the stuff extra on Target.com. But then also including items that appear out of stock, because that is the way to see when stuff pops up on the back end, and that's the way that you're going to see that number change when even if you don't have monitors, you're going to be a little bit behind the game. Like if you're not seeing stuff appearing in stock immediately on monitors, but that's why we try to help you here in this chat on Schulte's Card Pulls. But at least without monitors, you can see when stuff is going up in stock on Target.com on the back end before it's going to go on sale. So it helps you there, and it's a nice indicator and gets you all ready. And that's kind of how everybody says when there are those restocks. They're like, hey guys, there's a restock coming. That's kind of the indicator there. David Barron asking if anybody has been able to buy Mosaics on Target this morning. The last time I bought Mosaic was yesterday. I have not tried it yet this morning. But anybody that does want to try it, let me know if they did try to buy it yesterday. And we will figure out if the 24-hour limit is still in effect for those Mosaic Cello Packs. Scott O says, never pulled a 101 or a Genesis. It's okay, Scott. I pulled a 101, and it was a Steve Carlton Hall of Famer. Sold it for like $75. I maybe could have gotten like 100 for it, but still, the one-of-ones aren't always that glamorous, my friend. Chance Early says a Nico Mannion Genesis. Exactly. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a Nico Mannion Genesis. Bank had his back, says keep it at 100. 718S asking if there's a drop. We haven't seen anything as of yet. Nothing happening on the monitors for Target.com. I will drop my conversation immediately and let you know, though, if that changes, you guys. David says, I've tried for 3 days, no mosaics. So basically, you haven't been able to get those Mosaic Cello Packs, is what you're saying, as we approach 420 here on the West Coast, about 720 on the East Coast, you guys. 620 Central, 520 Mountain Time here on Schulte's Card Pulls. Waiting for sports cards to restock. Have not seen them restocking as of yet. Kenny G says, I'd take a Chris Paul Genesis. Gotta love somebody that is named Kenny G in the chat. One of my favorite musicians ever. Love that soprano sax. Yeah, Kenny G in the chat, baby. Gotta love it. Yummy says, me too. Heck yeah. All right, maybe Chris Paul wasn't the best person to bring up as like a Genesis that people don't want. I don't know. Coach Mojo says, bought, but he's still in that phase before the label was made. Heard that they've been canceling orders within minutes of ordering. So maybe Mosaic Cello Packs are actually running their course on Target.com, and they are accepting orders. However, they're not able to fulfill all those orders, so they end up just kind of pushing out what they've got and then canceling what they can't fulfill. Kind of sounds like what's going on there. I don't know. Tommy Two Dimes says, mine don't ship. Yeah, that's frustrating, guys. It sounds like that Target, it's funny, they leave them on in stock, but I don't know if that's just them trying to identify people that want to re-buy cards over and over and over again, or if it is them, suffering from like a miscommunication between, Excel and Target, or it could be a weather issue, guys. We've had a lot of very, very cold weather, and I do believe that these Mosaic Basketball Cello Packs ship out of an Excel factory near Minnesota or Iowa or something like that, or every time I'm getting them, they come from like the middle of the country, and that has been where a lot of severe extreme weather has been hitting. So it makes sense that there would be a delay in shipping or like a miscommunication between Target and Excel as to what they could get out and when, or how many products are there. There's all kinds of reasons that could happen. All kinds of reasons. Doc Holiday says, all right, man, take care. I got to get ready. Doc, thank you so much for checking in, man. I appreciate you. I apologize, guys. We are 21 minutes into the hot zone. We have not seen a sports card restock on Target.com, but I'll be here waiting probably for just under another hour or so. A little bit past the hot zone expiring 29 minutes from now at 4:50. Hey, guys, hearing the kitties at the door. Maybe that's good news. Pikachu and Eevee, I believe, actually just scratching at the door. So might be able to hopefully lean on their knowledge. And usually when they are up and when they are awake, bugging daddy, that means that sports cards are restocking on Target.com. Kyle Crow says, yeah, we got killed in Ohio. It sounds like it, man. I've seen some of those reports, guys. And it's just obviously with, everything going on with the pandemic still happening and with the weather in now January getting super, super severe in some parts of the country as we're just starting 2022. Be careful. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are fed up. Be safe out there. Mansa says the Mosaic Blaster is dropping. I haven't seen anything about a Mosaic Blaster dropping. What I have seen is that Mosaic Cellos are still in stock on Target.com, and every single product that has dropped on Target.com in the past month and a half has just been left up on the front end for everybody to see, even though it's out of stock. I did see people talking about there was some activity, like maybe just some maintenance going on Target.com on their site last night, kind of moving some sports cards around or putting some stuff in stock, but people saying that they did see that stuff last night. So that's worth mentioning, you guys. That's worth mentioning. Got about 10 inches of snow, says Jason, in Pennsylvania. That is crazy. 10 inches, man. It's pretty much, I know that all those places like Salt and are ready to deal with the weather, but that's pretty much a stay at home for a lot of the country. 10 inches is tough to get through, man. Coach Mojo says if it's been cold, need to bring the heat, need to rip some packs, LOL. Staying hopeful. Heck yeah, Coach Mojo, I agree. I mean, I ripped cello packs from Mosaic even after I found a LaMelo Ball pink, regular, like a pink just like rookie, and then a pink debut rookie, the two different variations. Found those in two different cello packs, decided I still needed to find the heat. Still haven't. Ripped like two more cello packs and it's been cold. But I understand what you're saying, man. Brad Selden says 61 in the 305. Brr. Oh, Brad, poor you. 61. That sounds awesome, man. That sounds great. We had here in Oregon, it was pretty mild weather. We were having like 50 degree, even almost 60 degree days, like up to Christmas. And then for about a week or two, we had really, really cold weather with like a drip of snow for a couple of days in some areas. Some parts got hit here than worse, but then it went away, kind of back to some 50 degree days again. And that's kind of cold. It's just been a really warm winter. Super odd. Scott asking if Target stopped the bots. Well, it sounds like for Mosaic last week, they definitely did stop the bots. So beware. They are going to be on those Walmart restocks a lot harder now. And one reason why I don't think the hobby is like dead, like some people think that it is because all the Mosaic, as soon as it goes in stock on Walmart.com, goes out of stock like that. Last week, in fact, guys, it is Wednesday. So make sure about noon Pacific time, we usually see on Wednesdays a restock from Walmart.com every single week. So make sure you're ready for that today. We could see some Mosaic. Maybe we'll see some mega boxes finally. Really want those Mosaic basketball mega boxes and hoping for some Mosaic football retail as well now that we've seen Mosaic football hobby boxes hitting the shelves for a couple of weeks now. Dunk Card says, I pulled a Tim Duncan all-time greats Genesis from a blaster. Hey, that's not too shabby. See, when you pull those big veteran names like Tim Duncan, Hall of Famer, I mean, those will probably sell for maybe $100 or two, but it's always fun because there's a very, very diehard fan that wants that card somewhere always. So usually you can find that match. Kevin says, I don't know if it was mentioned, but I picked up some Donruss soccer blasters from Target last night. Nice, Kevin. I hear that you can pull a lot of downtowns from the Donruss soccers. Am I mistaken in that? Am I just making that up? But that's something that I've heard. Not sure if that is the truth. I've seen a couple of Donruss soccer videos ripped, and I can't remember if there were downtowns or not. Tough winter in Florida, says Scott. I only golfed once last weekend because it was a little chilly. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, you jerk. Congratulations, buddy, on that nice weather that you've got down there. Marcus Barza, super generous. A $5 super chat says, thanks, man. Keep up the good work. You've helped me get a lot of cards. Thanks a lot. Mark, you are so welcome. Happy to do it. The fact that you're still here supporting me, man, and then you're being super generous, going into your wallet, grabbing a few bucks for me. Thank you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You guys freaking rock. You guys are awesome. You make it fun to show up every single morning. You know, waking up early sucks. I'll admit it. It's hard to get up early, but it's fun. And while we're growing the channel, while we're trying to see if we can find sports cards, we can develop a community that helps each other. And that ultimately, I think, is what the card community is about. We all hope that we can, make some money off of investments and we can make some money off of sales. But the community of people, you guys, that's ultimately what the best part of the card hobby is, in my opinion. Thank you. The Coolies correcting me. Me idiotically saying that there were downtowns. But no, there are no downtowns in soccer. Soccer kabooms is hobby only, says the Coolies. Well, that's frustrating. So Donruss Soccer Retail, what's the reason? S3 Nano says, good morning, Schultzy. S3, how you doing, man? And yeah, guys, didn't mean to drift away talking about the Walmart restock at noon today. But yeah, be prepared. Noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern on Walmart.com every single Wednesday. They have a restock. AutoGod says, or you could just stay up instead of having to wake up. It's very true. It's a little hard, though, because, my wife tries to have like a normal schedule, and I want to have a normal schedule with her. And trying to stay up and then get videos edited, and I've been trying my damnedest to put more videos out there and put more recorded content out there, but just these morning live streams have made me tired. So it's been really hard sometimes to fight through trying to do regular live stuff and then doing these morning live streams and then sit down and edit. So, I mean, I'm assuming you all understand, since you're here with me, how hard it is to wake up this early and understand why I haven't been able to get as many videos out like that. But I've been trying. And if I just stayed up all night, I don't think I would get anything out. There would be no content on my channel. Sal773 says, will you go live for Walmart? I usually don't. There's really no reason to, because the products are usually very guaranteed. I mean, I could, but I'm not sure. I'm already kind of blasting my channel and the algorithm with live streams when, YouTube really is a recorded content service, and I got to be putting those regular videos out there. So I'm really trying to make sure I balance out, these live streams with the recorded content. But I've also been thinking of, I don't know, what do you guys think of this? I've been thinking of expanding the social media a little bit, doing like a live stream simulcast on Twitch while we do this in the mornings, maybe throwing it up on Instagram as well, getting some more viewers in here, some more voices, maybe some more sources of information. I think that would be a good idea. Brad Selden says, can't return at Walmart. Boo. Can't return sports cards at Walmart for good reason, man. Can't return them for good reason. Wade Cotton says, go Bills. Nathan says, I work from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. LOL. Dang, Nathan. You're that third shifter, brother. Got to appreciate people like you, Nathan Spruill. Oh, and Len Weaver, super generous as always. Oh, my goodness, man. $9.99. Sorry, I can't talk. $9.99 super chat says, we appreciate you, Schultz. Len, thank you so much, man. You guys are so generous. Len, I appreciate you more than you guys know. Like I say, every single day and every single week, you are the reason that I'm here. And I cannot keep thanking you enough. 718S, ask it if there is a drop in all caps. Drop? I haven't seen anything, man. I'm still looking at the monitors on target.com. We haven't seen anything dropping on the back end. We haven't seen the number change on the target tracker. Nothing's happening. I would absolutely shut my mouth immediately the moment that I saw a drop starting. I'd be like, hey guys, let's focus. Let's go. Let's get ready. But at this point, we have not seen one, guys, and we got about 18, 19 minutes or so left in the hot zone. Dunk Cards asking a great question. Schultze, who do you like long-term, Herbert or Burrow? Morant or Zion, LaMelo or Ant? Well, right now, I'll answer the last one first. LaMelo Ball seems to be, I guess LaMelo and Kelly Oubre seem to be making the Charlotte Hornets worth watching, and LaMelo kind of helping hold that team above water with his distribution abilities. You know, he should be scoring more points. I really would have liked to see a lot higher scoring from him earlier in the season, but he's still super, super young, so can't knock him too much for that. The NBA is going to try to figure him out and throw really, really big defense at him at this point to try and shut him down. But I think that if I had to choose between LaMelo or Ant, I would say LaMelo. John Morant or Zion, I think it's obvious at this point. John Morant, with his ability to at least stay on the court and super, super athletic. I mean, he has the athleticism of like a Damian Lillard type player. It's just, can he put it all together like Damian Lillard? Because if he can, he will be one of the top 10, 15, best point guards of all time. Mark my words, John Morant has the ability to do that, but it's whether it comes all together for him or not. But I do think John Morant is better than Zion Williamson. That's my choice. And as far as Herbert or Burrow, it's probably the hardest one, man. About 4 weeks ago, I would have said Justin Herbert, but Joe Burrow has performed absolutely clutch in the playoffs and leading up to the end of the season for the Cincinnati Bengals, making the Bengals relevant again, winning their first playoff game since Boomer Esiason was their quarterback. I mean, we're talking like 28, 30 years that the Bengals had in between playoff wins like that. It has been a horrible drought for them. Congratulations as a Mariners fan. I know how you feel, Cincinnati. Congratulations for getting off the schneid. But just for that, I would have to say that Joe Burrow and Herbert kind of moved into like even territory for me, because Herbert would have been in the playoffs if it weren't for a Staley idiot call with the timeout at the end of that overtime against the Raiders, allowing the Raiders to kick a field goal to make it a 35-32 win for them. Damn it! Sorry. We're good. My Justin Herbert fandom coming out there. Jeremy Black asking if he can get out of Memphis. Oh, sure. If he wants to get out of Memphis, John Morant, he will get out of Memphis. A team will pay him. I could see him maybe hitting LA one day, hitting the Lakers, maybe going to Dallas, maybe going to the Brooklyn Nets, Miami Heat. Paid Sports Cards asking, what are our odds looking like today, boys? Well, it is 4:34 Pacific time right now. We got about 16 minutes left in the hot zone. So as each minute ticks by, I would say that our chances are going down. Unfortunately, to be perfectly honest, they're lowering with each minute, but we will see. We will see if there's a restock today, and if there isn't one today, I'll be back tomorrow. Hoping for one on Thursday as well. David Barron says Burrow is the GOAT. Yeah, Joe Burrow, you guys, has looked like the quarterback that everybody thought he could be. And along with that, if you have any Joe Burrow rookies, guys, and you wanted to unload them for cash, now is the time to do so. Those Joe Burrow rookie cards have jumped up in price because of his performance in the playoffs, as well as his performance at the end of the season. So, yeah, Joe Burrow Prisms, I think, are selling for like 40, 50, 60 bucks again, which is insane. Never thought I'd see them that high again, but they are. Coach Mojo says, last time the Bengals were in the playoffs, they lost to the Los Angeles Raiders. Fast forward 31 years, and the Bengals got revenge. Unfortunately, the game will also be remembered for inadvertent whistles. That's true. Something that the NFL has been dealing with for many, many years, way too long now. The NFL's inability to just let the players play the game. Stop getting involved with the whistles. Stop calling way too many damn penalties. Stop trying to make your opinion the reason that the game goes a certain way, and let the players play. PI has gotten ridiculous in the NFL. So many holding calls that aren't holding, you end up seeing at the end of the season now. Just way too many interjections by the referee during a season now. Chuck says the soccer went fast. Doesn't think that it was a lot in stock on Target.com. So people were able to grab some soccer last night, but it sounds like that however much was up, it wasn't many items, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or just a few thousand blaster boxes because those went back out of stock quick. But a ton of different things in stock, guys. I know Target, obviously, as we've been talking about, leaving this stuff on the website for weeks now after it goes out of stock. And somebody asking what's live. Tucker, that's a great question. Let's go over that really quick. So you guys, we're seeing Mosaic Basketball Cello Packs still live. If you're interested, you got some Panini Baseball Elite Extra Edition. Not really that great. I would totally avoid that. Don't buy that. But those blaster boxes are available. The Baseball Chronicle Retails Trading Box. It's pretty cool. It's a preferred. Contains 2 autos, a preferred title box. I don't know what that means. It's basically better than a mega, but not quite a hobby box. But you can get it for $60. It contains 2 autos. So I know it doesn't have logos, but if you want a chance at a couple autos for $60, there you go. Chronicles Baseball Preferred Box. You also got Topps Chrome 2021 Update Series Mega Boxes. The prices, though, jumped way up from last year. $50 for a Chrome Update Mega. Last year, it was $20 for a Chrome Update Mega. Stupid price difference now. Other than that, guys, looks like some Draft Picks Basketball from Chronicles. Fat packs are still in stock. Flux Basketball Mega Boxes in stock. Flux Basketball Blaster Boxes in stock. Panini Illusions Basketball Blasters in stock. Chronicles Draft Picks Hangers and Megas. So a lot of cards that are actually up and live on Target.com right now. But obviously, other than those Mosaic Basketball Cello Packs, it's like none of the premium stuff that we want. And with the limits, it's really hard to just keep buying it. And like I said, like we were talking about earlier, I'm not necessarily convinced that Mosaic Basketball Cello Packs are still in stock at Target.com. I think they could just be taking orders and then canceling what they can't fulfill later. That's just a guess on my end. So yeah, guys, let's see. Optic out of stock. We do have Chronicles Basketball Blasters still in stock. I think those are a fun rip. If you wanted to pick up any basketball cards for cheap, those Chronicles Basketball Blasters are $25. There we go. The Chronicles Baseball Megas, those are $45, $15 less than the preferred. The Mosaic Blasters are sold out. You got Mosaic Baseball, Megas, and Blasters, and then Optic as well, guys. So basically everything else in stock is kind of the stuff that not really too popular that people aren't into. But there you go. Everything that is up on Target.com live. Got some Optic Baseball at the end. Got some Prism Baseball at the end as well. All kinds of stuff available. Not necessarily the premium stuff, though. But if you're jonesing to rip, you guys, cards are available. So go to Target.com right now and grab what you want. And if you haven't, for some reason, haven't gotten any Mosaic Basketball Cello Packs yet, I would highly recommend that you do grab them from Target.com for $15. They're $3 a piece cheaper than on Walmart. And I'm sure that when they go on sale on Walmart.com today at noon, that they are going to go out of stock like that, no doubt. Skylar says, I bought 3 earlier, first-time purchase, and got my confirmation email as of now. They have not been canceled. There we go, Skylar. Good news. Draco Cards asking if Illusions Basketball is any good. I like Illusions. It essentially, if you've seen like Bowman Platinum, it's like a cardboard stock with like a chromium finish on it. So that's what Illusions for all sports is. And I like football and basketball Illusions. It's one of my favorite sets, actually. Some people really hate it, and I understand. It really just depends on personal preference there. But I love Illusions. Sounds like people are saying that Blasters are sucking. I gotta go Megas or Hobbies. I don't know. I might be a little biased. I pulled some good stuff out of a Blaster. And I've opened a couple of Megas off camera. And they seem to be some pretty fun rips. So I would recommend Illusions. If you're just getting into the hobby and you're just trying to check out exactly what's around, definitely check Illusions out. But if you're looking for something, that's not necessarily a premium release, then I would also check Illusions out. You could pull some great autos, I do believe a LaMelo Ball redemption auto is in Illusions, just like in Chronicles and in everything else this year. And forever, because of those LaMelo Ball redemption autos, 2021 basketball will forever be sought after in the hobby, no doubt. Just like 2020 football with Joe Burrow, with Justin Herbert. Those products, you guys, these products that have risen up during the boom in price will be some of the most popular products of all time. Even, 20, 30, 40 years into the future, if there's any of them left. Because at this point, you wonder how many of those boxes are actually out there and how long they can stay sealed. If I had a bunch of Prism football like that, I'd just keep looking at it and be like, I gotta open it. Damn, I gotta open it. Brian Lawhorn says, it looks like no drop. Gotta go get ready for work. See you tomorrow, man. Stay COVID safe when card punting like Flux. Pulled a red cracked ice from Omega from Barnes & Noble. Nice. Yeah, those Flux basketball megas, they do contain red cracked ice parallels, just like the Prism basketball megas. So if you like red cracked ice, if you like the look of those cards, then another reason to pick up a Flux release. And Flux also those chromium cards as well. So I think that's why Panini's trying to do something to add like that mid-tier release for chromium cards, as well as increasing their print runs and releases in general. Ridiculous. Nice. Guyver Cage just pulled a LeBron James Elevate out of 25 from a Mosaic Blaster. Good for you, buddy. That's got to be selling for a couple $100. That's a huge pull. Congrats. All right, guys, we are about 7-8 minutes away from the hot zone finishing up here on Schultz's card pulls. Unfortunately, it's pretty likely that we're not going to see a restock, but like I said, I'll be hanging around for a bit. We'll be talking more about the hobby. We'll be talking more about sports cards in general as we wait, and maybe something will happen here in the last few minutes. But one thing, guys, along with the BBCE controversy with the Logan Paul Pokemon fake $3.5 million box, something that's been on my mind has been grading and how the market, I've talked a lot about prices of singles and how the market, unfortunately, really only goes after like quarterbacks and nobody else for rookie classes. And like, for instance, for basketball this year, it's Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball or bust. All those other good rookies, that could make NBA first team, that are super, super good, that were super, super good during their rookie year. Tyrese Maxey, Halliburton. Now we're seeing Poku and Avdija kind of arriving on the scene. None of those cards sell for a lot, and it's super frustrating. So it's just the quarterbacks in the NFL, and in the NBA, it's Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball or bust. And in baseball, there really weren't even many chase rookies this year, other than, say, like a Wander Franco or a Jared Kelnick. And unless you got like those autos, because the base cards were just super, super overprinted, you weren't seeing any value in any of those rookie cards. So that, I think, was one reason that collectors were frustrated, and maybe one reason, along with the prices kind of trickling down for resales, that we've seen cards being sent in way, way smaller numbers for grading. Now, just because PSA and Beckett have been shut down and just opened up the $100 tier service for PSA doesn't mean that people haven't been grading cards. We've been seeing a huge uptick with services like CSG and then SCG, all these other alternative slabbers, and with the creation of a company like HGA, new people on the market. Now, I know I was talking a little bit about HGA controversy yesterday. I really don't think that you should slab them. I'm just saying that they're there, and people have still been sending in cards to get slabbed. But one thing that caused that that PSA slowdown was so many of those base cards being sent in on super, super low tiers of like the $25, the $15 service tier per card, and clogging up PSA's work lines, essentially. Well, now we've started to see that again with Mac Jones base cards. It was the most submitted card to be graded at PSA in December 2021, the Mac Jones rated rookie base from Don Russ. We're seeing that at the $100 and $200 levels now, with PSA. And I am shocked. I am shocked that those people think that they're going to get their money back, especially if there's, a population of 10 to 20 to 30 or 40,000 graded Mac Jones rated rookie cards. That's insane to me. Miguel T says, true collectors are not upset prices are down. Collectors love it because they can get what they want for cheap. It's investors and flippers who are upset about the market being down right now. Exactly, Miguel, and it's something I've been saying. It sounds like it's really just like the fresh money that came into the hobby during the pandemic. Those are the people that have kind of ran out. And even, from content creators to investors in the hobby to people that just like to open a bunch of packs, there's so many people that have just fallen off the wayside, and it's hilarious to see the fair weather fans kind of dropping off. But then also on the other side, as I'm talking about, you guys, these base cards that are being sent in these massive numbers to PSA to be graded, I thought that we learned our lesson, but apparently we didn't. I don't think that these base rookie cards on any of these players are going to end up being super, super valuable at the end of the day. Everybody treats these base rookie cards like it's a 2011 Mike Trout. There weren't that many 2011 Mike Trouts printed. And there are still some of those parallels, like out of 5, I think 2 or 3 rookie Mike Trout parallels out of 5 are still in the wild. Just think about that. That's insane. So that's one of the reasons that the Mike Trout, just paper-based rookie, for instance, is so highly sought after. But the print numbers that we've been seeing Don Russ putting out for base rookies, especially a guy like Mac Jones, you guys, there have got to be hundreds of thousands of those just raw sitting out there. And then when you think about, 10 to 40,000 of them being graded, that's not going to be a card that's worth very much in the future. David Barron says, well said. I appreciate that, man. I'm just trying to make sure that we all learn from our mistakes. And one of the reasons the PSA got clogged up in the first place was because we sent so many of those base cards in that really weren't worth much. And during that time, I've seen other people, like Scotty B, like Sports Card Investors, the people that are kind of at the forefront of knowledge and come up with, in my opinion, some of the best takes on the sports card hobby, talking about how your money is better off in parallels that are numbered, in autos and cards that you can find that aren't necessarily, as common. And instead of buying, 10 or 15 base rookie cards in a PSA 10 slab, you would be better off investing in like one big sexy auto parallel. And that is where a lot of your money's going to be going. AJ made it, says Mac Jones sold for $2,000 in December at a PSA 10. Yes, it did. And then the price dropped like a rock after that. It was selling at that, but I promise you, as the pop count continues to grow, AJ, and that's what I was talking about, AJ. So you said in December, the Mac Jones sold for $2,000. Do you know what that made collectors do? Send Mac Jones rookie cards in its base form on the $100 and $200 level in some of the highest numbers that PSA has seen in months. And it was the highest submitted, the most submitted card to be graded to PSA in December 2021. So what that price will do is continue to trickle down because the pop count of those graded cards are going to continue to grow, guys. And the whole idea of graded cards is the rarity, is the special 10 doesn't really come up very often because there's so many issues with cards, and getting a 10 is very valuable because having a pristine card just doesn't come along as often. With all of these cards being sent in, guys, with the hundreds of thousands, maybe even, I don't know, who knows, maybe Don Russ, has 1 million Mac Jones base rookies out there. I don't know the true number because Panini doesn't provide us the odds on their packs, and I think that's super frustrating. So you can't use any of their numbers like you can with Topps to kind of give yourself a ballpark of what you're looking at. And I think Panini does that on purpose, and I think they're being intentionally shady, and I think they are money grabbing when they do that, and it's gross. But the Mac Jones, I'm telling you guys, as they get sent in, the value's going to go down, and those base rated rookies, make your money on them now because they're not going to be worth much here in another year. Make your money on those now. I'm telling you what. And it looks like, guys, the Hot Zone has officially ended here on Schulte's Card Pulls, unfortunately. 4:50 Pacific Time, 7:50 East Coast Time. No restock for sports cards today. I know that a lot of you are probably going to head out, so if you do, please do me a huge, huge favor. Smash that like button. But if you are looking for something else to watch, or you're just hanging, or still on your way to work, or still tinking around with your morning, watch another video of mine as well. I'd really appreciate that. It really helps the channel. Helps me a lot. The YouTube algorithm. Super, super generous to those people that get watched repeatedly by viewers. So it helps me out, and I can't thank y'all enough. And guys, one thing, just a personal request really quickly as we continue talking sports for about another 20 minutes. This is one thing that is hurting my channel, and it's super frustrating. People will come in, and I understand that you want to like win a giveaway or whatever. And to win these giveaways for like these live chat giveaways, you got to be subscribed because you have to be subscribed to chat. And you're trying to win a box. Please do me a favor. Don't just unsubscribe when you see one of my another one of my videos go live. That hurts the channel. It's disingenuous to me. You're trying to just enter a contest. I understand that, but give me a chance if you're trying to enter that contest and you didn't win, because what you do when you unsubscribe to my channel, as soon as a new video pops up, it kills that video. So please, 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 I'm asking you guys, I'm just being straight up with y'all. Help me out. If you're subbing for giveaways, I totally get it and I appreciate it, but just don't take that next step, you guys. I know that I maybe my voice doesn't sit right with some people, and that's fine. You know, everybody has personal preferences, and you're allowed to do what you're allowed to do. Just you're free to do it. I get it, but I'm just asking you. It will help my channel grow a lot faster and stop the algorithm from limiting me as much if y'all sub for those giveaways and then don't unsub when you see my videos drop. Much appreciated, you guys. All right, so we got about 18 minutes or so left. I'm going to be on till about 5:10 Pacific time. Just talking sports. James Bork says, good morning, bro. How you doing, James? Good to see you, buddy. Tommy says, still like listening to you, Schulte. I appreciate it, man. Winston says, I like watching the live. I really appreciate that, you guys. It means a ton. We've covered a lot of ground today. The BBCE fallout and how I think it's going to affect the sports card world. I'm telling you guys, we were talking about it earlier, but all those other expensive cases that have been authenticated by BBCE that are sealed in the fallout of this Logan Paul Pokemon case fraud, I think you have to rip them. I think you have to open them. I think Darren Ravel of Action Network makes a great point, specifically bringing up the 86 Fleer basketball case, which contains the ever-so-known Michael Jordan rookie card from that 86 Fleer set. That was sold for $1.78 million. I think that has to be open now. You have to see if BBCE was right in authenticating that. You cannot go forward thinking that that is something that is for sure 86 Fleer basketball cards. You've got to check that. Miguel T says, instead of unsubbing, create an alt count and sub again. I appreciate that, Miguel, but you know what? Dead subscribers don't really do much to the channel either. So alternative accounts that are subscribed to channels don't really do much for the YouTube algorithm either, because if you subscribe and then you don't go watch a channel, you're not going to be shown that channel, if that makes sense. So if you're subscribed and then you don't really come back and watch the videos, YouTube will hide that channel from you essentially, and your subscription really matters. Almost bunk. Mr. Card says top loaders are more likely to damage cards. There is a way. You know what? If you're wanting to send it off to be graded, don't even put the card in a top loader. Just put it right in the sleeve and then put it in that plastic card protector, those pro sleeves for grading immediately after you pull it. If you have nothing else to set it in, sure, set it in a top loader. But if you've got a super valuable hit and you have to use a top loader, use a fatter one than the card actually fits into. Now don't make it so fat that it'll fall out. Don't put like a 55-point card in like a 150-point top loader. But what I'm saying is, like, for instance, this is a great example. I've got 4 Shohei Ohtani Chrome rookie cards, right? They are, I just haven't gotten around to putting them in the pro sleeves yet. So they were shipped, and this was amazing. I appreciate the buyer for doing this. They were shipped with painter's tape on the top of the top loaders in penny sleeves, and the top loaders were like 70 or 80 point, and they gave room to the card. So they didn't smash the card. They didn't imprint anything. If there was stuff stuck on the surface, they didn't mash it in there. And the guy, I think he thought that these could be sent-ins, these Otanis that I got way back when for like 25, 30 bucks a piece before the raw Otanis doubled and tripled in price. It was awesome. I think he even knew that these could possibly be sent into PSA. So he prepared them that way, and I appreciate it. So if you don't have those pro sleeves, that's how I would store the cards that you want to be graded. GLDosis, does the Walmart restock work kind of like Target? Do they preload stuff one at a time? Or does it all just show up live? GLDO, it's kind of a mixed bag. At some points, like one premium product along with some of the other stuff that isn't necessarily sought after will all be loaded at the same time. But then sometimes they will just be dropping items one by one. It just depends. My best advice for you for Walmart.com is either get a sports card monitor or go after the one product that you really, really want. And I'm assuming, you know, all the bots are going to be running like Mosaic mega boxes for the next like 3 weeks on Walmart.com. And that sucks. But if you can, you know, try to go for that first and then kind of just go for your next item down your list of importance. You know, if you score, great, keep trying. If you don't, then, you know, put that much more effort into, and I would have like 2 browsers open with Walmart, even have one on your computer, have one on your phone, trying to grab all those cards that you want. That's my best advice for you for Walmart.com. Sal says, I'm out later, Schultzy. See y'all tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody. Sal, I appreciate that, man. Dunk Card says, every morning I get on YouTube and your video is at the very top. First video that shows up every day. This live. The algorithm knows what I like. I appreciate you, Dunk Live. Heck yeah, man. You rock. Well, the algorithm is working for sure, man, because, yeah, you have shown how much that you appreciate what I do, and the algorithm will keep showing you my content, and I cannot thank you enough, Dunk Cards, for showing up for what I do, for enjoying the talk, for enjoying the help. It means a lot, man. Seriously, you guys. So what I want to do, I want to entertain. I want to be a source of fun in this world that is full of crap and sadness and stuff that's just really hard to deal with. I want to be the release from that. That's what I've always wanted to be. You know, some people's like, Jordan, you should be a stand-up comedian. I've never really liked stand-up comedy. I love making people laugh. You hear me make random jokes on here all the time, but what I truly, truly love is sports. And the source of fun and entertainment and knowledge that I get from sports and sports cards, for me, is second to none, and I want to share that with y'all. Yamayas says, oh yeah, the bots will be back with a vengeance when those Mosaic Megas drop. Darn tootin' Yamayas. Guap Chop, what's going on? Asking any drops? Just woke up, Schultz. No drops right now. No drops this morning, it looks like, on Target.com, unfortunately. So we can kiss Wednesday goodbye as far as a possible restock day for Target.com. Wednesday, January 19th, not happening. But I'll be back bright and early live tomorrow, hoping again here at 3:55 Pacific time. Jazzy for days says, loving you stream these drops. I hate waking up for them. I appreciate you, Jazzy. No, that's the thing. It is tough to be up early, and especially the West Coasties. Super, super tough, but even on the East Coast, waking up at like 6, whatever, and then trying to be all ready for sports cards to restock and you be present and hitting all those buttons. It's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. This sucks. And I understand how it feels trying to get up for this. It is rough. It is definitely rough. And Mets Rule, you're too kind, man. Says, you need to be on the radio. You have a great radio voice, bud. I appreciate that. Mets Rule, you rock. I do have experience as a radio anchor, so hopefully I can get me a sports radio hosting job here soon. That would be the ideal job. That would be the goal. James says, Jordan, I've packed and ready the LaMelo parallel for you. Oh, James, thanks, man. Let's, yeah, you said you wanted to work at a trade, brother. I appreciate you, James. Let's figure something out, man. I can figure out a couple of cards to send you from my collection. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for, but we can work something out, man. I appreciate you, James. Excited. That LaMelo green parallel. Green and pink are my favorite colors, so those are 2 parallels that I always go after. In tops, it's a little bit harder to go after the green because those are out of like 99 or 125, so they're super expensive, but always got to go after them anyways. I mean, I was Thankfully, I didn't buy this card because Kyle Lewis ended up getting injured, but I was looking at a Kyle Lewis first Bowman auto at a 99 at around $400 for months. And I just kept sitting there being like, I need this card in my collection. I need this card in my collection. And he got injured this last year, and the value of his autos dropped significantly, basically back down to the levels that they were selling before the pandemic started. So I'm happy I didn't buy that one. And just goes to show you that FOMO, buying sports cards, isn't necessarily always the best way to go. I wanted to buy with emotion there, and I just kind of kept pushing it off. And whew, I'm glad that I just kept pushing that off on that card, because I would have been out at least $200. Yeah, I would have lost at least $200, if not a little bit more. Guap Chops has just sent 76 cards to SGC. Heck yeah, Guap Chop, those tuxedo slabs, man. I'm actually liking SGC a lot more as I see those cards, guys. And SGC, I talked about it yesterday. Do I have a slab in front of me? I do. Hold on. Just trying to show an example for the newbies in the hobby. All these slabs, guys, going to be available coming up on Star Stock for auction. I'm going to have an auction with them here soon. So this is SGC, guys, in that tuxedo slab there. That is a Fernando Tatis base paper rookie in an SGC 10, though. Pretty sweet card. SGC don't hand out 10s either. They are the option, in my opinion, for lower to mid-tiered cards if you want to grade. If you do want to grade those bases, don't send them off to PSA. Send them off to SGC. And they're pretty tough. They're pretty hard to get a 10, like I said. So I think SGC's fun. Scott, you're hilarious. Says, I gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Kyle R says, thanks, Schulte. We'll be monitoring the Walmart in your Discord. JR Myers, sup, Schulte? Let's see the tux. How you doing, JR? And by the way, guys, JR, you reminded me, I should let everybody know, guys, all the prizes from my 10K giveaway have been sent out. They were sent out last week, although there have been weather delays in the mail, but they are in the mail. I'll make sure that I get all y'all tracking numbers, but you should be receiving those prizes either at the end of this week or early next week from the 10K giveaway. And everything happening earlier this month on Schulte's card pulls. So thank you all so much for your support for that. And just wanted to let you all know that your cards are on your way. JR, yours included. Mr. Hutch says, how long does SGC take? They are not nearly as long as PSA, but you're still looking at, for a wait time, possibly 3 to 5 months. If you pay quicker, it'll go down to like a few weeks. But for the lower tiered services, I think on their website, for like their 60-day service, it said something like 3 to 4 months. So that's going to be how long SGC is taking. Mets Roll, I appreciate you, man. Says, that would be awesome. Good luck. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Triple says, you look like a young Ken Griffey. I appreciate that. Ken Griffey is a hell of a lot more attractive than I am, but I appreciate you, man. Thank you much. Mr. Hutch says, buy it now. Mets Rule says, it's all about the hat, Triple. S. Jacobs says, Kyle Lewis is going to be a stud. I hope so. I mean, I still have a couple of autos of his just hanging on to him, hoping that Rookie of the Year in 2020 is going to come back strong from injury. He has the ability to hit a ton of homers. He is a 5-tool player. I love me some Kyle Lewis. Kyle says, SGC is 1 month. Heck yeah, man. I know that if you get in some of their mid-tiers, you're going to get it back in 1 month guaranteed. But last I was looking at their website, I thought the lowest tier was going to be at least 2 to 3 months. But maybe I'm incorrect in stating that. Tabletop Geek asking if I don't go live, or if I'm going live tomorrow. Yes, I will be live right in early tomorrow at 3:55, guys. Mr. Hutch, the same process. Grab a form, pick tier, and just send direct to them. Pretty much, Mr. Hutch, go on their website. You fill out a form, and they have, I think, 5 or 6 different price tiers that you can choose from. And you fill that form out and send stuff in very similar how you would to PSA. Pretty much in card savers, the same way that you would send it in. You send it into SGC. Mr. Hutch is buy the dip. Schultz, you know this. Prices will go back up. Yeah, I just don't have a lot of that extra cash to spend on singles right now, you guys. One thing that this money that I'm getting from the YouTube channel has basically all been either going back into the YouTube channel or to help me live on, because I'm putting more and more time into this, trying to make it a full-time gig. So my investments in singles since like May of 2021 have gone so far down. And I'm pretty much limited to, like, if I just really want a couple of singles, I'll buy those. But other than that, I'm limited to the boxes that I buy to rip for the channel, unfortunately. We all have budgets, you guys. And right now, I mean, it would be awesome since I am, getting to be a bigger channel. I'm hoping now that I can maybe start to review stuff on the channel and write that off as an expense. So we'll figure it out. But there will be ways that I can get my hands on some bigger cards. But at this point, it's really all about the channel and trying to make it a sustainable long-term thing. Jason Lawrence's autocorrect is killing me today. Oh, Mr. Hutch, $5 super chat says, awesome, appreciate you. Mr. Hutch, thanks, man. You guys are too generous. You guys have been freaking awesome. Oh, Mike-O, what's up, man? Thank you for chiming in. SGC has 2 tiers at this time. Next day and standard. Mike-O, what's going on, dude? Love your stuff. Mike-O, I've been watching you since I started my channel, brother. You're actually, Mike-O, one of the OGs. And go check out Mike-O's channel, guys, if you have not. He rips a lot of baseball cards here on YouTube. A lot of classics, a lot of the new stuff as well. So SGC not even having all their tiers open right now. And I know Mike-O has been sitting a lot of cards in for grading lately, so he would know this. But they have next day and standard only at this point. Blue Horseshoe says, if people aren't buying singles, what does that say? It says that not a lot of money is being put into the hobby at this point, which makes sense because, people aren't getting a lot of that free money that they were just thinking they could turn into an investment or something like that. I mean, I understand why there isn't as much money being put in. And also with the prices going down, the true collectors are still there buying it. But, the fair weather people that were buying stuff on eBay before just aren't there every week like they were. Jazzy for Days says, fair enough. Thanks, boys. Scott O says, write everything off. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. You can't really, as a brand new YouTube channel, you can't do that. But now that I've been around, I have a following, maybe I can figure that out. I think if I use the products to drive views, I can write them off. So we'll see what happens. Yummy Yaw says, I've been buying slabs. Heck yeah, man. You got to buy those slabs. I am going to shift from buying raw cards to slabs. And one thing lately that I've been getting into, guys, and I think every collector kind of goes through this renaissance when they come into the sports card hobby, I have really gotten into buying retro cards too. Of course, as you get in, you're super enamored with all the brand new releases and you get caught chasing that dragon so often. But the but the value in those cards that you want or the investments that you think that you can make money off of long term are obviously so much better to spend the money on and go with going forward. So there's so many ways to enjoy the hobby. The whole draw at first, obviously with those boxes, kind of got me. Yeah, but now looking back, like the love of Ken Griffey Jr., the love of some of these older Mariners kind of makes me look back to other leagues and other players as well, and kind of makes me wonder, well, when can I acquire this Michael Jordan, Fleer PSA 6, 7, or 8, something like that. So I am excited as my love for the hobby is continuing to grow and my interest continues to grow. Excited as I foray into, for me, kind of a newer part of the hobby. So I'm excited to talk about that going forward and share that with y'all as well. Of course, I'm still going to be ripping new stuff, but it's pretty crazy what I have experienced in the past 2 months, specifically just deep diving into some of the retro stuff out there. The hobby, guys, I know some people think it's dying, but it is alive and well, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. The surge of new money from Fanatics with the purchase of Topps, I think it's just anything positive that you could think of in the future. The potential for that to happen rises tenfold with Fanatics throwing new money in there, you guys. So just because sales are down right now doesn't mean the hobby's going to be dead. Don't you all worry about that. Ethan Levy, what's going on? Ethan Levy's Cards and Trick Shocks. How you doing, brother? No drop, but we have been hanging out for an hour and a half, and it is 5:10 Pacific time now, so it is about time for me to get on out of here, you guys. Tommy Two Dimes says, I bought a few Roger Maris cards for the PC. Love him. Some people don't even know who he is, which is sad. Roger Maris was the first person to break Babe Ruth's single-season home run record. Now, he did it in a season that had more games than Babe Ruth did, so there was the debate about whether or not it was a true record. But yes, I think it was a true record. Roger Maris absolutely beat the Babe with 61 home runs in that season. But then it became moot anyways because Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa hitting all those home runs. Of course, back in the summer of 98, saving baseball. Oh my goodness, that's a whole other conversation, though, that if I started to get into that, I'd just keep talking for hours and hours and hours. Mr. Hutch says you could write off rips if it's for the business. All right, Mr. Hutch. Well, I think I'm going to be doing that an S-ton more coming up here in 2022. All right, guys. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow. Hopefully have a video dropping later today as well. Appreciate every single one of you. It has been a fun morning, albeit no restock from Target.com, but we'll be hoping for a Thursday restock this week, as unfortunately no restock on Wednesday, January 19th. But like I said, I'll be back bright and early, 3:55 Pacific time, 7:55 Eastern Coast time tomorrow, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Schultz's Card Pulls bright and early again with you every single week. Thank you all for your support, for your continued loyalty to the channel. It really helps me, and it makes me want to get up every morning and continue doing this. So make sure you're all safe out there. Like I said earlier, the pandemic's still raging, but we will be back. Hopefully I'll be entertaining you tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll be scoring some sports cards bright and early Thursday. Thank you so much, y'all. See you tomorrow.